go a little bit, you can explain a little bit more. Heisenberg principle of uncertainty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says that you cannot measure the momentum and position of a particle simultaneously at the same time. If you
Very
measure
nice.
the position very precisely, you will have a lot of uncertainty in the position. But if you make the position more perfect, then the momentum will get lost.
Very nice. Exactly. Very good. Well done.
Thanks.
Very nice. That's Heisenberg principle of uncertainty, which could be called, Petro-J says, could be called indetermination, not determination.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
And in this book, actually, here, Albanian and Sanskrit, in this book, I've taken the thing which I'm going to say now. All right. So it's from him, and it's in English. He says that the principle of inseparability, all right, can be used as this one, minus division or minus determination or minus so this is
minus measurement.
Minus measurement, yes. All right. Impossibility of precise measurement. Principle of inseparability, not separability in a way. All right. That's what he says. Yeah. And it is well known that the principle of uncertainty was imposed upon physics. From the impossibility to perform at the subatomic level an exact measurement. Okay, so measurement is, this is measurement, measure. Yeah. And this is not. Okay, the
non-measure. Okay.
Non-measurement. So in inseparability or uncertainty.
Yeah.
Uncertainty. That's what it is called. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are jumping from language to this because this is also a language. Petro-J says. Petro-J has represented.
It is a language because Niels Bohr used to say.
Yeah.
He said we are suspended in language, by which he meant that no matter how hard we try, we are limited by language. So we have to express things in language. And by the language, he meant all the parameters of the classical world that we are familiar with, even mathematics and all that.
Yes, and Petro has mentioned Bohr in this book also. He says Bohr principle of complementary.
Complementarity, yeah.
Complementarity.
Nice.
Yes. Complementarity is, x minus x to them together, which is actually the E code as per Petro.
Right.
So he's transcribed there these principles.
If you want me for the listeners, I will comment on complementarity. By complementarity, one of the things Niels Bohr meant was that the wave nature and the particle nature of this entity, this existence, is kind of complementing each other. And so it is like when you make up, in one experiment, it will show a wave nature, but in another experiment, it will show a particle nature, but the two natures are complementing each other.
Complementary, like yin yang.
Right.
Yin yang, positive, negative, sun, moon, in other words. So these two energies complementary, so it becomes a whole in a way, but in harmony. And Bohr also went to Hindu or Buddhism or some kind of Vedic.
He studied Vedic literature.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good for the readers to know.
Yeah, that's why he mentioned
for the listeners.
Yin yang and this stuff. It comes from that. Even his principle, the name complementary, comes from that. Actually, that's what Petro-J told me. And that is actually on the internet also. People can find out. So anyways, Petro-J, quantum physics, principle of whatever, complementary, or Heisenberg's, it's almost saying the same symbol.
Yes.
All right. And even the speed, more speed of light and that so on is a little bit advanced, but Yeah. So the code E, it means this is we are here in code E. So quantum physics is in code E, or has gone into the more divine, closer to the truth, non-Aristotelian logic. Aristotle logic was Aristotelian logic when x equals to x. Minus that, it's not Aristotelian logic. It's beyond. Okay, so it's x minus x, so it's the code E.
Yes, yeah,
Code E is not known.
Because according to Aristotle, a thing can be either a wave, but if it's a wave, it cannot be a particle. But now electron shows that it can be both. Let's go by the current quantum theory. Yeah, so you're saying, okay, so the law of the excluded middle is not applicable in quantum theory.
Yes, very nice. Yes, exactly. And Peter says the contribution of the symbolic algorithm with regard to this modern physics is quite big, and it's very simply to understand. Peter says that these things, children will gonna deal with those things after 50 years.
Oh, so he's suggesting that people don't understand it now, but after a long time, people will start to understanding it.
Yeah, because it is there now. The symbols are there. So everyone who's gonna learn, it is very simple, and it is, and he has also in a code also a causality.
Yeah, cause and effect. Yeah.
Cause and effect. So actually, he has a symbol for that. It's called that in code F. This is called causality, and he says that in classical physics, measurement and causality, they goes together.
Okay, in classical physics.
In classical, but in quantum, this is classic, but in quantum, which is minus, okay, actually causality goes down. That's what he says. But anyways, this is a little bit more.
No, I understand. You know what he means is this, that
yeah.
For each cause in classical physics, each cause will lead to a particular effect. But in quantum theory, you don't have that relationship. You only measure probabilities, and there are several effects possible. Yes. So even if you prepare all the electrons in the same state initially, they can lead to different final states. But in classical physics, if you prepare 1,000 objects with the same initial condition, they will, and with the same forces, they will ultimately have the same effect. Everybody will go to the same result. So it is deterministic in that sense.
Deterministic,
yes. And I think that's what he, okay, that's very nice.
Yes,
the causality is a very good example there.
Yes. And Peter J. says that entire deterministic or classical physics, including the theory of relativity, causality, speed of light, etc., can be regarded as the code F, as I told you. But
because these are
as the code E.
So quantum mechanics is more fundamental, and classical physics is kind of an approximation to that. So it's like a form. It's like something is origin, closer to the origin, and another thing is like the periphery, which takes a form. So classical physics is kind of like taking a shape. When quantum theory takes a shape, in the world of large objects. Yes.
Okay. And also or objects, and deeply in the particles, or deep, that's where you find the code E. But Professor Petrucci, let's go back to another thing so people can understand what we are talking about.
Okay, this was a nice detour. Okay.
This was physics and a little bit. That's just to give a taste of what he's talking about.
Yes.
Of course, we were jumping from language to this, but he says that Professor Petrucci indicates the symbols of symbolic algorithm. They can be regarded as archetypes. Archetypes, all right?
This is the word used by Jung in his philosophy.
Yeah. Jung and...
Jungian philosophy.
Jung, yeah, he studied a lot, Jung. Yes, archetypes.
Okay.
Jung is very nice also. Very, very, very good in his philosophy and all of that. But archetypes, for example, in code E, we have this symbol also, which means up.
Yeah.
Right? In code F, we have another symbol. We have down.
Yeah.
All right? This symbol everyone has seen. Like, it's not normal. So if we go to the code E, and if we say X is up, the opposite of that is -X. Not up, down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but according to the code E, the two opposites are equivalent. You know, X is equal to -X, as we said in the code E. So it means that up is equal to down. All right. And he says in one point of, if you have heard, a tabula smaragdina of the great Hermes Trismegistus, or a thought, which represents more or less the legendary code of any symbolism, it says that what is below is what is above. And what is above is like what is below. Symbolically shown like this. Hence,
Where was that statement from? Say it again, please.
Hermes Trismegistus.
Where is that? What is that?
Tabula smaragdina is, you know, it is like very ancient. So
and where? Okay, so it is
I'm
somewhere.
going to show you. Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to send you the link where it is. But one people
so
can.
ancient people mentioned that what is above is below, and what is below is above.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this is like, in a way, you know, we are up. So tabula smaragdina is another application of symbol of code E, in a way.
Okay.
So, but it means that symbolic algorithm can be used in many things. Because it has a language of unified theory or unified language for not only spoken language, but different languages. For
you know, at this point, I remember a picture that I had seen a long time ago, and it is somewhere on the net. Have you seen that snake which is eating its own tail?
Yeah.
Swallowing its own tail, right? So it's like you know.
Yes, yes.
It's like it's coming out of itself, but then swallowing itself. So it's like the above.
It's like a circle.
It's like a circle too.
Because the head and the tail, Ouroboros, it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Ouroboros.
Plus, it's also represent X is equal to -X, because it is kind of coming out of itself and then
very
going
well done. That's it. That it is exactly. Yes, the circle X equal opposites. Yes, and that is actually, it is in the book also.
Oh, that picture is in the book.
Oh, Petrucci, he mentioned that. Yes. So you see, these symbols are ancient, and the truth, it's truth always. It's something.
Okay, so the ancient people also knew this kind of.
Yeah, the smart ones.
the rishi.
Or I don't know who, but people with intelligence, or it's a knowledge which ancients like knew very well, or the golden times, or something like that. All right.
Okay.
Let's go a little bit. Yeah, people will not get it immediately, but I know you will get it.
You know, so far, I'm happy that I get it to some extent. I mean, I don't get the whole thing, but some of it.
That's good. Yes. So, you know, in the code F, we have this relation in
Okay,
the
so it's not in
symbols.
the code E, so it's a form. It's a form. Okay.
So you can, if you know the symbols, you can go to code F or code E, you know. For example, you know, remember the symbol of connection or chain, or, you know, not freedom.
Slavery, everything.
Yeah, yeah. And the symbol of full circle.
Bondage, relationship,
Bondage,
yeah.
exactly. Slavery, and this symbol is in code F also. All the symbols in code F, they are equivalent or same.
Okay, so you're saying this will be equal to that. Okay.
Because, you know, hologram, or it has to be.
They both contain the same message.
Or they're equivalent in the same, in a
They're
way.
equivalent,
All right?
yes.
In code F. And he has also done this mathematically. So all these are, you know, proven from him in his book. But we are taking this just as a result. All right.
Yeah.
So let's use this to understand what does this mean.
Okay.
Because this is symbolic algorithm, right? So it has to be true in not only in one thing, in many things.
Yes.
Yeah. So this symbol was in. You can say this means or interpret this as a mass or material or mass.
Yeah, mass, yeah.
Yeah. And you can interpret this as, you know, a relative, connected, a relative.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do we have? Theory of relativity.
How?
Mass is relative.
Okay.
Einstein in code F. So it is deterministic physics anyways, because we are in F. But Petro-J says this is okay in code F, but this must be true in some other things also. He says, for example, he studied a lot of not only Vedic, but, you know, Christian and Quran, Muslim, everything which is there.
Okay. So let me comment on that. What he is suggesting.
Yeah.
That if you look at the universe and you find something stuffy like massive or like material kind of thing, it is it cannot be the essence. It's kind of relative thing. It
Very
is not.
nice. You are doing you are expressing the symbols. Very good. Another way.
So it cannot be the essential thing, because it will be relative, because it's a stuffy, messy, you know, it's a form.
Yeah, it's a form. It's not the
form.
essence.
Right, and a form can change from different perspectives. It's relative. Yeah, very
It's
good.
relative, yes.
So he's not just saying, he's not saying he's getting relativity theory from this, but he's suggesting how can you look at relative things in the universe?
Yeah, you can understand them better, right?
Okay.
If you know, like, the deep meaning.
Okay.
So we can jump from physics. We can go to, let's say, to the Bible. All right. Bible, John 8:34, a famous saying by Christ: "The one who sins, sin." We can interpret this as sin. The black circle. All right, as something bad or a sin. Right. The one who sins becomes the slave of the sin. Slave, you know, the symbol.
So
you can interpret.
Sin creates a bondage. Okay.
You know, I mean, just a statement from different kinds of, you know, religion, physics, cosmology, whatever. You can put it into the symbols.
So now I can say a sin is an action that will create bondage. So, for example, if you have a
bad action, yeah.
A bad action, yeah. So if you're a corrupt person, that will create a bondage in you, an attachment or some
bad karma, yeah.
Bad karma and things like that. So he's looking at the general sense. He's using the scriptures, but he's not
in a symbolic way. In
a symbolic way, he wants to say, what if that means that? Okay.
He wants to say that this is universal. This is used in many types of knowledge, and in language too. In language too. Let's take a simple in Norwegian, for example. In language now, like spoken language. In Norwegian, kjede means chain or connection. Chain, connection.
Yeah, link.
This in many languages. I'm just taking an example in Norwegian. Connection and kjede or kjede, the same word, which has two meanings. Okay, kjede means boring, boredom.
Oh,
something negative. All right.
Yeah.
That circle. All right.
Yeah.
So the people who created, I'm just taking example in Norwegian. Right? They knew that this. Okay, so this one word, two meanings are connected symbolically. Their meaning.
Boredom comes from bondage. You're too attached to something, and now you're bored because that attachment is bothering you.
That's very true. This is also in Albanian. For example, liv means connect. Live.
Albanian. Okay, what is it?
Albanian. Let's jump to Albania.
Yes.
Live. DH. Live means connect.
Okay.
Chain. Okay. And love means tired, boredom. Same.
Okay.
This is another languages. So you see the people who have one, for example, the today's Saussure and Lacan, they don't know why, for example, that word has these two meanings.
Right, similar
they
word
don't know
has
symbolic
different
algorithm, right?
Yes. They look arbitrary in that sense. But now, if you look at from the more fundamental principles, like symbolic principles, they don't look random.
Yes, it's not random. It's because they knew the knowledge.
Yeah.
They knew symbolic algorithm. The one who created languages, they knew symbolic algorithm. That's what.
So you're saying the Albanian word lid, which is a chain, a link. Also, load means being tired, right?
Tired, boredom, same.
Boredom, tired, and all that. Okay.
For example, in this case, there are many others.
I will say something for the push to speaker.
Yes.
Similar. Now, pare is rope, and a rope will connect things, right? A rope will tie things.
Yeah.
And stare has also the re in it, but I'm not sure if that has any.
It can be.
I'm just throwing it out there. Don't hold me for that, but I'm just throwing it out there just in case.
Yes.
But I just want to look for words that could be representing, on the one hand, chain in Pashto, and on the other hand, some boredom or some attachment.
Negativity, yeah.
Some negativity, okay.
Yeah.
Which
you will find. Just I will give you some days.
No, this is a good game. Actually, it's a good game to look at.
Yeah, it's logic, it's logic. And not only logic, but you will find a lot of things inside the language. All right, this is just one example. I have a plenty of examples. Pedro has a plenty of examples in languages: English, French, German, Latin, Greek, Albanian, Sanskrit, many. This was just example to show you how it works. All right.
Okay.
And so let's go a little bit to physics a little bit more deeply. All right. So the code E means, as I told you, essential, right? Holy, or divine.
Whole, essential, fundamental, more original.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely, absolute. Something not relative, right?
Not relative, yeah.
What is the opposite of relative?
Absolute.
Absolute. So if you do that, that means you are not in, so minus. Minus and E, not F, as per Petruget's algorithm. So not relativity means absolute, okay? And absoluteness, not slavery. Even the word absolution means freedom.
Absorbed, yeah, absorbed
because
means
not
somebody,
connected, not you're free.
yeah, when somebody is absolved from their crime or from their
Crime, yes, no crime, absolute, not relativity, not relative or E code. But just something funny here is, we know in Vedic, as I learned from my guru Prashant Trivedi, they say about Shiva, because you have it behind. You can show a little bit. Shiv or Shiva, it is like no one, right? They say, what do they say in Sanskrit? They say, because I mean, I just know it, but pronunciation, maybe you can say it better. Shivam, no, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Have you heard that?
Satyam, Shivam,
Sundaram.
Yeah.
Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, which means Shiv is truth, is beauty, or absolute.
Shivam,
beauty.
Satyam, yeah, Satyam, truth,
Satyam, the truth.
That which is, yeah.
Yeah, the truth. So let's make it an algorithm. So the truth means.
You see, I feel like, Afërdita, in this way, maybe the Rigvedic mantras are not are easy to decode in a way, because those are statements, and one could maybe apply this.
Which is the truth.
Okay.
Whenever you say a truth in statement, that is a mantra. That's what I teach my students in the social meditation. No, I don't teach this. This is a little bit advanced, but I teach mantras, which are pure principles, which never change.
No, but what I'm saying is that, you see what you said, Shivam, Satyam, Sundaram.
Absolute, not relative, it means absolute, and truth or beauty, like, this symbol, you remember the divine or beauty at a high degree, This is also in E code.
Yeah.
And in E code, you have also, since you're a physicist, the speed of light is, he has a symbol also, the symbol of, it's beyond, past speed of light, and many more other things. You have also another symbol in code E, which is minus movement.
This infinity symbol is movement.
Yes, no, sorry, it's not this actually. This is infinity. He has movement, means like this. He uses this.
Yeah.
This is like movement.
Like a wave moving.
Like a wave, wave. So not movement in E. Center. The center does not move, right? Or the mystic sense.
It's the movement is also a relative thing. Yeah. So the movement arises in the forms. The movement arises in the forms. Yeah.
Yeah. He calls it, Petruget calls this axis mundi, which philosophers called the axis which does not move. It's the center of every universe, divine.
Yeah. And now we say the center of mass. Yeah. In physics, we say the center of mass doesn't move. Even though the parts can move if there is no force on an object from external.
Yes.
Yes, the center of
because deterministic physics, it helps, you have movement. You have the speed is less than light. So
yes.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff, but we can take another time.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff there, about the speed of light, or Einstein. Which is, he calls it.
Can I say something for the listeners?
Of course.
This is a dialogue created between us. So it doesn't mean that we are drawing a final conclusion for anything, but we are creating a dialogue so people can think about it, what it means, how to think about things differently.
Yeah, this is just a new, what Petruchet has
new
discovered.
new way of looking at things.
And it is, yeah.
I enjoy it because it has something to think about. For example, the words meanings are not random.
The words meaning, yeah. Exactly. And actually, what physics, Prashant Trivedi, my guru, master of Vedic knowledge, he is has explained very much English words. I'm very impressed also because he has explained, for example, what means physics. What means physics? The word physics, etymology of the word physics.
Okay, that will be nice to know.
Do you know, or I didn't know?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, no one actually knows.
I was thinking that it comes from the word physica or something like that, that which is physical.
Yeah, physics in they say Greek means nature because nature deals with
nature. Deals with that stuff. That was
nature. Okay, so Prashant Trivedi has explained this actually for the first time. I was very impressed, and in many interviews he did that. Physics. All right. So we have this. We have two words here.
Yeah.
Okay, he said this means phi.
Okay.
Like phi golden ratio, Fibonacci,
Yeah.
Right?
Which even in the Afghan or Vedic literature, phi
they
is
used it
in Shulba Sutra, yeah.
Yeah, they knew about phi a lot.
Yeah, in the ancient text, they have pi.
Yes. So what about this one?
I don't know.
Physics. So this one, he said, it comes from this means scissors. It means cutting. Scissors in sis or chash or sas. Okay, in Sanskrit, let's go to Sanskrit or to scissors. This is the root for scissors, so it means to cut. Okay, cut in Sanskrit, China, it means to cut. Yeah, so this means to cut. All right, it's an ancient root they have used in English. So what it means, physics means cutting of phi golden ratio. You know golden ratio, the Fibonacci. So this is very true because if you have the whole, if you cut and take apart, you can create materiality. I will show you also. Petruchet has also a symbol, which is this one, which means material. Okay, and this one, separation, cutting.
Yeah.
So cutting of phi golden ratio of the whole. This is the whole. Or E. A cutting of that creates the world or physics or nature.
Oh, okay.
As per so cutting of phi golden
ratio. So you're saying physics. So even physica or nature will mean that which has come out of the whole. So nature is not like the whole, but it is part of the whole that comes out of it, like nature, like trees, mountains, and the stuff that is in front of us, the cosmos that we see.
PT says that nature tends towards this perfect fractality, which is golden phi ratio, perfect, which is phi. All right. So nature tends towards to go there. But it's not rich, but it tends to. It wants to go there. That's why it is called phi. Everything in nature is, phi golden ratio.
But I was thinking the essence is perfect. And out of that perfection, the form is created, and that form is not perfect.
Yes.
So you're saying so now it wants to go back to its origin. Is that what you're saying?
To be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, to be perfect.
Which in our literature, which in our Vedic literature would be called moksha, or whatever.
Liberation.
Yeah, when the duality ends, when the separation ends.
Yes.
And the observer becomes the observed. Okay.
Yes. Yes. That is called E you are talking about. Yes.
The essential. Yeah.
Yeah. Essential, divinity, superiority, up, non-divided. Because this world here, you know, we are not in heaven, are we? So we are a part of, you know, the force or these things. But he goes actually, Peter J is gone into the Sanskrit. He takes the word mantra. No, matra. Because he says every bisemic pair of words, for example, a word which has two meanings, all right? The science says so today that this is arbitrary. All right? A word, for example, chede in origin.
So Lacan and Saussure would say it is arbitrary.
Arbitrary, yes. But actually it is not, because the words which looks like same, and they are connected to each other, and they have the same origin.
Yeah. So you are saying something about matra and the
matra, yeah. So matra, he says in the book, and he has used a lot of pages actually about that.
Because that gives me an idea that what you said is connected to, because that's why Sanskrit has a lot of words.
Oh, yes.
For one thing, and then you have one word can mean different thing in different location, and that is because those things are connected somehow.
Exactly, they are connected. Matra. He says this is called in language is called bisemic pair. It's same word with two different meanings. All right. This is today's science of linguistic or etymology say this is just nonsense.
Random, accident.
Random, okay, arbitrary.
It's accident, yeah.
Accident, yes. But Petr J says, no. This is not random at all. And this is a very, a pearl of knowledge, because you can see so much in these words.
Okay.
All right? You can find even philosophy of language. Not only these words, usually all the words of the world. So he says that this Sanskrit homonymous, this word, matra means measure in Sanskrit, all right? Matra means also matter, you know, matra, matter. It's like, it's quite understandable for people.
Yes.
All right. So
why is measure and matter has the same word? Because
yes. Now we go to the symbolic algorithm to understand this. Otherwise, it is impossible. All right. So Petr J with the symbolic algorithm says that measure, if you remember, in code F has this symbol.
Yeah.
This symbol can interpret it as measure of determinant or separability. All right, separation. Measuring presumes separation. If you want to measure something, you have to, like you said,
you have to have a boundary, because if something is infinite, there's no mention of measure. Yeah.
Exactly. That's right. So this symbol, we agree. This symbol is equivalent in code F with this symbol,
which is matter, which is mass,
or matter. You see? So that's why this word has these two meanings, because they are connected symbolically.
So to be measurable has to be in material form.
Yeah, you can see what is material. What is not material, you cannot measure.
No, because then you don't, the measurement process.
The meaning of a matter is transcribed with this symbol, all right? And
the materiality,
archetype.
Yes, so the materiality of an object will necessarily subject it to measurement. It will have boundaries.
So, Petr says this symbolic equation, this is an equation, right? can be interpreted in several ways. Okay, one interpretation says the measure is what creates the matter.
Right.
Even though it may sound absurd, this is a factual result of quantum physics through Wheeler or other scientists. Material reality is created through measure, observation process. You know this.
Yeah. They say that. Yeah,
You
when
know
you
this for
measure,
sure.
yes. When the wave function collapses, yeah, into some state. So all the observed universe must be like after measurement. That's what the quantum theory suggests. Yeah.
Exactly. John Wheeler we are talking about.
John Wheeler was in Princeton University. He recently died, and he was Richard Feynman's thesis advisor in his PhD.
He lived quite a long, actually, until 2008. Yeah.
Yes. I almost met him in Princeton one time.
Really?
Yeah, I was next to his office, but my friend and I were there, and we said, let's go and meet John Wheeler.
Yeah.
And then we had this second thought where we said, oh, so what we were graduate student at that time, and we said, oh, we don't have a question for him. What would we say? And then we stopped.
I see. Yes.
Yeah.
John Wheeler is a distinguished physician focusing a lot on astronomy. He could be regarded as primary responsible for the black hole notion.
Oh yeah, he wrote a book
Electron
which
in
is
the Universe,
very
right?
big on gravitation. Yeah, very big book. And recently there was a guy who got a Nobel Prize. His name is Kip Thorne. So Kip Thorne and Wheeler and another person, they wrote a very famous book on gravitation. Very big book.
Exactly. Yes, and Wheeler has this famous formulation of the anthropic participation principle. So participation part,
Participation.
according to which we, in our role as observers, measures, partake in the creation of physical reality. That's what it says. So this is one interpretation. So we are in the physics now also again. Another interpretation, Petruget says, if we read this symbol as a limit, okay, limit, not whole, but a limit, this symbol as a limit, all right, and this symbol as the material world, material world. So we can say the following logic: the world has a limit. Yes. Or this material world is finite, it has boundaries, which means that the world has a beginning and an end. And so now we are going into cosmology, Petruget says, according to which the material world has a beginning, Big Bang theory or whatever.
Yeah, Big Bang.
And an ending, Big Crunch theory.
Yeah.
Or like a physicist say, the world has a limit in time and space, modern black hole theory. Yeah.
So the Big Bang, that's a good idea, because you know why? If you only limit yourself to the material world, then that creates a lot of contradictions. And but if you look at reality and things if you look at matter just to be the form, emerging from some underlying deep structure like essence, then it's reasonable that at some point it appears, which we call the Big Bang. And at some point
it may disappear. They call Big Bang, but we don't know if it is the
yeah. That's just a word that Fred Hoyle was a physicist who was interviewed by BBC or some journalist. And he just, in that interview, he he was joking. He was making fun of this theory. He said, yeah, they said there was a Big Bang, and this word stuck. But now people use it, Big Bang,
Yeah.
But that's nice because the material world appears and disappears, just like a star. Well, a star will explode and turn into a supernova, or it will turn into a black hole.
Yeah, and that exactly, and that what we said, like the Hermes Trismegistus, what is above is below, what is below is above. Actually, Prashant Trivedi explained it very beautifully. It means that the stars, the planets, what happens there, it will affect us here.
Okay.
In one interpretation, which is very, very nice actually, because it has with the code E.
And so I have another idea of that too. If you look at the atom, in our bodies, well, we are made out of atoms and the stars are made out of atoms. So in a sense, we are made of the same material, but also planets are rotating in orbits. And if you take the atom model, it's also an orbit, like rotating. So what is on one is on a larger scale, is also on a smaller scale. So that also means fractality, right?
That means fractality, exactly.
Self-similarity. So large scale structure. Yes.
Absolutely. What happens, because stars, and they are also atoms and all this, we are also made of that in a way. So that what happens up, down, it's the same fractality, or hologram, they call some people her. So it is that actually. But this symbol, what we did now, this one and this one, what we did now about that, Pedro G goes on. He says that if we read the symbol of the symbol of separation or dismemberment, or cutting, or
disintegrating,
then we and this, like the world, creation or world. So then we are jumping now into cosmogonic mythology or myth, the world creation of dismemberment that implies. So the creation of material world is made through the disintegration or dismemberment of a primordial being, as per mythology. All right.
Okay.
Cosmogony means
the creation of the cosmos.
Creation of the cosmos, exactly. So the basis of most cosmogonies in Tzirlot is a book of dictionary. It's very good. I'll send you. I have it on PDF also, Tzirlot.
Yeah.
He says there that the basis of most cosmogonies is cosmic sacrifice, expressing that the idea that the creation of forms, matter, takes place by modifying primordial energy. Such a modification, so far as the primitive proto-historic people was seen to exist in different forms. In Babylonian cosmogony, it assumed the form of the killing of original mother Tiamat, the dragon.
Okay.
Whose body was used in the body, so parts of the body was used, the part to create.
Yes.
To create the creation of heaven and earth.
The material world,
Material world, Hindu tradition links the struggle of the gods with the tribe of devils called Asuras. That's what it says in the book. All right. According to the Rig Veda, the gods would sacrifice a prime being, the giant Purusha. In Persia, it was a bull sacrifice. So you see the point,
all the mythologies suggest that some primordial being is disintegrating or creating, is turning itself into the material world.
Yeah, in Scandinavia too, here in Norway, they have.
So that also bring the mythologies of the world into a unified structure.
Yes, in Scandinavia, it was the giant Ymir who was dismembered. So this symbol by the Aesir gods, and then used as the material for the creation of the world.
So,
right?
so Peter
they took the body, they took his arms and made the mountains, or this.
So the head was turned into, like, let's say, the solar system, and okay,
exactly.
but
that's what cosmogony again. So how the cosmos is created.
So Petroje is suggesting that even the mythologies are not random. They have deep connection to the human mind. The human mind is the same everywhere, and it comes up with the same insight into the nature of things.
Yeah, because in the golden ages, all the cosmogony, physics, every kind of knowledge, fields of knowledge, they were one before,
Yes.
As for Vedic knowledge, for example, it was one before. So,
okay.
And then it got distorted. All this one, it got cutted. This made chemistry, this made physics, this made math.
Yeah.
But before it was in harmony, all of it. That's what it is, golden knowledge. Which actually
in
the
physics
physicists are trying to find today, right?
Yeah.
The unified theory.
Plus, also, if you look at time, with entropy, entropy means you're going towards more randomness from the order state. So the highest order will be in the essence, right? And from that, the entropy increases because now you are in parts and multiple random states. The random states are appearing. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So there are these concepts in physics which can be thought of as a representation of the mythical thought, where people are thinking, there's a unified essential entity which will turn itself or parts of itself into the cosmos.
Exactly.
The stars and the planets and the mountains and okay.
And all of it, like how they are connected, and it gives us a better picture, right? It gives us so the symbolic.
It gives us an insight
into
the human mind, actually.
Yes, because Piaget says, golden times, or the real knowledge was called E, all right? Wholeness, holiness.
Yeah, yeah, wholeness.
It was one, not separation.
Right.
Not cut. It was harmony, not slavery, or not,
no bondage. Freedom. Yeah, yoga says that. Yeah, yoga says that oneness will liberate you from the bondage.
Yeah. Yes. Oneness. Yeah, oneness will liberate you. This is this equation in code E. So you see how they're connected, and truth.
I see it. I see it actually. I see it from a yoga perspective.
Yes. Yes.
From a yogic perspective.
And yoga, yes, it means union with a higher and divine. Yoga comes from the word yog. Prashant Trivedi says, union, it means connection. You become one. It's like code E in mathematic form, all right? Or it means going up towards something better, not down.
Right. Towards perfection.
Towards perfection, towards intelligence, towards enlightenment, everything.
All the things like beauty, intelligence,
beauty, love, absolute beauty, and truth, like Shiva.
Yeah.
So he says, yes, exactly. He says that this was the
readers, for Pashtun listeners, I would say we're talking about Pashtun history too, because it's Gandhara. Gandhara Shiva is a very great god, like a great symbol of the divinity. Gandhara art, from ancient times, from the Vedic times.
Exactly.
So we're talking about that. Shivam Sundaram
Satyam.
The
truth. This is the truth. Like in the beginning was, the truth. Word was God, and all this, like Bible, for example, has taken actually from Vedic.
I also should say, Afërdita, that this is not just an intellectual gymnastic or anything like that, or we are just making. Actually, it will give you an insight into the development of human thought. how it developed.
Yes, how it developed. That's what cosmogony says. How the world was created. You know, it says that it was E, the code E, everything perfect, beauty, perfection, closer to divine, non-separation from divine. But what happened? The fall happened. Okay, the fall with this symbol or code F.
So that would be the time when the separation happens.
Yeah. So you have here separation. You have created material.
The material world.
Yeah. Here is also material in E, but the material here is material is equal with the spiritual, let us say, in E, not in F.
Oh,
in
yeah,
F,
yeah.
they're separated.
Yeah, because the essence has to contain everything, right? Yeah.
Essence, there is no difference between material and spirituality in code E, but here in F, we make this distinguish because it's two. It's not one, it's duality here in F. You see?
So can I also comment about the
Of course.
So the concept of opposites emerge. Now we have the dialectic materialism comes in, right? The Hegelian dialectics also is part of this business.
And dialectic comes from D, means do, means two.
Two, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like disharmony, all this, which we said last time, this comes from.
So most of the philosophy that we know, Western philosophy, I can say, is kind of part of this dualistic part where the separation has happened and you are now circulating in that, creating philosophies and trying hard to reconcile this and that. And
to go there up.
You're not going up. You're not going towards the essence, towards the right.
Yes. So if you don't know the essence, what is, you cannot formulate, you don't see it like properly, then we cannot go there. Then we will get stuck here, which is called matrix or.
But what is the tragedy? I think, Afërdita, what is the problem is that going towards the essence will need meditation and yoga. You need to be very.
Yeah.
And that's you need to go very deep.
Yeah, and through Prashanti Vedi's grace, I teach people meditation, which is Lotus Ocean, which is centering.
Centering and
centering food E in mathematic forms.
Removing the noise, removing the opaqueness, removing the mess. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, meditation comes, Prashanti Vedi says, meditation comes from the word medi, which means madhya in Sanskrit, madhya, which is, I think it's you read madhya or something like that, or medi in Latin, which means middle in English. Middle, medi, and Albanian midis.
Yeah, in Pashto it's mans. Mans means the middle, the
middle, mes, Albanian also mes. Like Messiah.
It's also there. In Pashto we say mans. And
like, yeah. So you do medi, but middle it's just centering, center. Middle of, left or right, centering. The meditation. And now I do this, I practice this in not only now that I know mathematic form, but in practice.
Okay.
So now we are in the age with this knowledge is there, actually. Okay, but let's go a little bit again to E. This, in philosophers, they call this the fall. Okay, philosophers in 19th century, they call this the fall of spirit into the matter. Do they? Right?
I have to I have to read some of that work, but okay, I understand what it means. Yeah.
Now you this is in a mathematic form, but it is the fall.
So philosophers or these maybe religious people would call the perfection, they would call it the spirit.
Yeah.
Or
spirit,
the soul.
Because spirit, like without form, this is materialized. Let's say if someone comes has been in heaven, and it becomes, after it falls, it makes something wrong there, it goes against the divine multiversal law.
So Adam and Eve are falling from the heaven to earth, right? They committed a sin.
In a religion way,
Yeah.
In a Christian way. Or philosophers, they call it the fall of the spirit.
But the point is that the idea of the fall is in the human mind, whether it's a religious mind or whether it's a philosophical mind or whether it's a scientific mind, but there is some notion of the fall from the perfection. So in physics, I will tell you how the fall is represented. In physics, we say the universe, the first instance of the universe, the first moment, is a highly low entropy state, meaning very highly ordered state. If you don't say that, then you cannot create the rest of the universe. So you have to say that. Now that physicists will say there's a mystery why the universe started with a low entropy state, highly ordered state, what you call the perfection. And then later the entropy increases, the heat is generated, the particles are generated, and the heat is distributed randomly. And so what I'm saying for the benefit of the listeners is that what Afërdita is suggesting here is that the idea of the fall is everywhere in human mind. It appears in science one way or the other way, but it also appears in the religious thought. It also appears in the philosophical thought.
Everywhere, because it's the truth.
So we are not saying right or wrong, but in the human mind, there is this thought. There is this thought taking place.
Yeah, this is in physics, or in it is called the unbroken symmetry of nothingness. Have you heard that?
So there's another concept that a unified field theory.
This is here, unbroken. And nothingness is the zero. Nothing, zero. You see this? This looks like a zero also.
Yes.
A zero, like nothing, void.
Nothing. Yes. The void, the emptiness.
The emptiness, yes. Before creation.
Oh, so the E could also represent emptiness, you see? That's a nice symbol that Petroje chose, a nice symbol, E.
Yes. And he has much more. This is just to show you and to give a taste. This is much more here in code E. Petro has made a lot of that, but unbroken symmetry of nothingness, symmetry, because this is symmetry, minus x is symmetry, is equal, right? So it is unbroken symmetry. So, and this here is broken symmetry. Broken, unbroken.
So in physics, we say,
so that's why the fall is seen as a traumatic thing.
So in physics, people speculate that at the Planck scale, there was a perfect symmetry, and as the universe was getting colder and colder, that symmetry was getting broken and broken. And the last symmetry was broken at what is the Higgs boson mass. So the Higgs boson represents the breaking of the symmetry, because some particle became massive and some particles are massless. So there was, this hierarchy. This hierarchy was created. That hierarchy represents the breaking of the symmetry.
So the fall, or going down from, or going away from perfect. Okay, this is also true in F.
So this is a symbolic representation of all that.
Yeah, you could say gravity here, or the fall. This is interpreted, this symbol is the fall, but can interpret it density,